We want to tell you something miraculous. We want to tell you the story of Gracie, how we ended up here on 9 acres in a state park in Maryland, living in a house where we do not own it. We will never own it. We fix it up for our own money, and then we live here rent free for life with no property taxes. It is basically our unretirement plan. So I'm Evelyn Cucciara from Saving Gracie.
And I'm Joe Cucciara.
My husband. We have been married for what, like 43 years now?
43 years now.
43 years now. And we always love to go try different things and stuff. And a couple years ago, we were looking for a new adventure. We looked into like, should we move to Italy and restore an old house there? Should we move to, what was that place we went to go see?
Charleston.
Charleston, not Charleston.
Savannah.
The other one. The one, the arts one that got flooded. Asheville. We went to Asheville. And we weren't, nothing quite fit right. And then I discovered this program called the Resident Curator Program. I actually had heard about it many, many years ago in like a magazine. I think it was Better Homes and Gardens. Remember when things were only in magazines? But I had seen it about it in Better Homes and Gardens many years ago. And I tried to remember it. I tore out the article because, nothing was online. This was way before the internet. And I said, this is a great idea for us, but we have 3 young children, 3 boys. So this is not going to fly. I can't see taking them down there, right? That wouldn't have made any sense.
It wouldn't have worked. Too much work, too many kids.
Yeah, exactly. Would not have been good. So we kind of like put it on the back burner. And then when we were coming down to like the pike and saying, well, what do we want to do next as the next chapter in life? I could not remember the name. How does that happen to most people? You can't remember the name of something you're trying to remember. We couldn't remember the name of the opening line we wanted to put today when we were talking. So there you go. We are 64 years old, about to be 65. I'm actually older than him. I'm a month older than him. A month older.
I like older women.
There you go. And we had our meeting with a Medicaid, what is it? Medicare guy the other day. I was like, oh my God, how do we get this old? Because we still feel like we're 25. So I don't know how we got to be 64, almost 65, but I'm sure some of you feel like that too. Getting back to the story. We were looking around for something to do. I could not remember the name of the program. At this point, internet existed. So I was Googling things, free house, fix up a house, found nothing. Finally came across it. And for those who want to know, it's called the Resident Curator Program. So they have it in certain states. They don't have it in other states. Just Google it. You'll find out. We are from New Jersey. I am Jersey born and bred, grew up down the shore. I do not pump gas. I do not know how to pump gas. Don't tell me it's easy. I don't care. It is my given right not to pump gas. However, we are now going to move to Maryland at some point, and I found out a way around it. What was my way around not pumping gas?
Get an electric car.
Yep. So now we have 2 electric cars, so I don't have to pump gas. So I'm good. I can move to Maryland now. But going back a bit, we found this program called the Resident Curator Program, and I looked up online. And in Maryland, because I didn't want to move north, Massachusetts has a really good program too. But I was like, I'm not moving north where there's more snow. I am not a snow girl. Like if we're going skiing, not that we ever go skiing, but if we went skiing, I'd be the one in the chalet, the inn, the whatever you call it, the lodge, drinking the cocoa while other people are skiing because I have no interest to do skiing. So as you can tell also in this relationship, I am the talker. I am the talker. Joe is not the talker, but he is the doer. So it works out well. At least it has for 43 years.
Yeah, but Evelyn's a doer too.
That is true.
She just likes to talk.
That is also true.
She talks fast, so I hope you can keep up.
Exactly. I'm Jersey. I talk fast. Do I have an accent? I can't even tell. Do I have an accent?
I think so.
You do? He's from Queens, but he's lived more of his life in Jersey than Queens. So maybe he has a Jersey Queens accent. I don't know. Doesn't matter. But back to our story. So I found it online, and there was Massachusetts and Maryland. And I was like, we're not moving north. We're going to go look at Maryland. At the time, and this was, what year was this? 2023? I think it was 2023. I was trying to remember the other night. Pretty sure it's 2023.
I think so.
There were 2 houses available. Only 2 houses available. One of them was where we are now, and the other was a very nice house, but it was in the middle of absolutely nowhere. It was in the middle of cornfields with like big industrial barns next to it, which were not part of the deal. They were not our industrial barns. That might have been a deal breaker. We might have taken them then, but nope, there were no barns. And all I could think of was like, what's going to happen when all this corn gets harvested? Because we were there when the corn was high. When the corn was low, would not have been good. And there wasn't any town. Like you had to go to another state. You had to actually go to Delaware to find like a supermarket and such. So that was no good. So we came down and see this one. We got permission to come and look at it. Not the inside yet. We got permission to come look at the outside. So we came down and we literally walked around the outside. And we are in the town of Havre de Grace, Maryland, which until I came to see this house, I had never heard of. If you go up and down the 95 corridor, you have seen the exit. You have seen the sign. That is where we are. And it ends up, Havre de Grace is a really cute town. We're about 10, 15 minutes outside of town, but our address is still Havre de Grace. Very cute town for those Jersey, Pennsylvania people. Gives off kind of a New Hope vibe.
But it's right on the water, and it's
Yep.
right where the Chesapeake meets the Susquehanna River. So
Yep.
a lot of the towns, there's boat slips right on in town. There's restaurants right on the water.
Yep.
Beautiful little town.
Yep. We're not boaters, but maybe if people have boats and want to invite us out, that would be good. So all good. So we came down, we looked around, we liked the area, we liked the house. We are people who are DIYers to the 27th degree. In all the years of the houses we've owned and such like that, we've only hired one thing to come in. No, two, right? Did we do one for the gas fireplace? And then you had to redo it, if I recall.
I think, yes.
Yes. Yeah. So we've only ever hired two companies to come in, two companies come in and do stuff. One was Central Air in our old Cape when we lived in Madison, New Jersey. And then the second was a gas fireplace when we lived there too. But the gas fireplace guy didn't angle it right, or something.
He made a bad connection. I had to redo it.
Right. So he ended up redoing it. So we're not the type of people who hire anybody to do anything. We are DIYers. So we looked around the house, and Joe has a background in everything contracting. He can do absolutely anything, from electrical to plumbing, to figure it out. So it's definitely going to work. That is your man. However, when we got married, when we got engaged, what were we? 19, 20?
Yeah, 19.
No, something like that. That wasn't even on my radar. He rode a motorcycle. He had very long hair. It was like down to here.
Well,
I'll try to find a picture. We still ride motorcycles. Well, I ride on the back of a motorcycle. He drives, but he looked very different. I probably looked very different. So somebody who could fix things was not even on the radar. We were 20 years old. So got married when we were 21. But getting back to Gracie, we said, we can do this. Let's make an appointment to come and see the inside of the house. So we actually saw the inside of the house through what was called? Department of Natural Resources, Division of Natural Resources, DNR. DNR from Maryland. We came and saw the inside of the house, and we liked it. It was like the foundation was good. There weren't a lot of structural issues. The roof was relatively new. No one had lived in the house at that time for 10, 12 years.
12 years, yeah.
So, it was old. It was dusty. As you can see over Joe's, what shoulder is that? Right shoulder, left shoulder. Needs a little painting on the outside. We'll get to that. So we said, we can do this. This is a good thing. So we put in a proposal, which was basically, Joe wrote the whole proposal. I had absolutely nothing to do with it. Tell us a little about the proposal, please.
Yeah, they wanted a whole timeline, room by room, and exactly what you were going to do to the house, what you had to change, what you had to install, how much you were going to spend, and a timeline, a 5-year timeline on how long it would take to get to each repair on the home. The home needed a little more work than Evelyn makes it sound. I mean, it didn't have any running water.
No.
The well pump had seized up.
Yes.
There was no central heating.
No.
They're still working on that. But it's obviously was sound. It didn't need to be torn down.
Yes.
It just needed a lot of mechanical issues to get repaired. But structurally, the basement was good. No timbers rotted that they were falling down, no walls collapsing. And luckily, like everyone said, the roof was in good shape. So there weren't a lot of leaks coming down, ruining any of the walls. So it took time. We did a 40-page proposal, detailing all the costs, what we'd spend on the house, how long it would take, what order we would do it in, and, the full timeline. And we had to also give a bio of ourselves and examples of other houses that we did.
Yep.
They weren't just going to take anybody off the street. So we had to give them pictures of houses that we restored, houses that we flipped,
yes,
different houses that we worked on in the past.
A little bit about our background. Joe, at this moment, we still have businesses, but we're both self-employed, been self-employed for a long time. Joe has a property management business along with his partner, John. Hi, John. I have a business where I organize playrooms. Yes, that is crazy. I am known as the toy tamer. Feel free to Google it. I'm pretty much the only one who does that up in Jersey. But as Joe said, we had to do a whole proposal, explain what we've done in the past. There was a time I used to own a kids' art studio. I quit that. We started flipping houses, and then 2008 happened. So for anybody who knows 2008, it was not a good time to be flipping houses. So we lost a whole bunch of money, been rebuilding since then, but all's good. We're still married, so, all is fine. So we decided this is what we really wanted to do. Joe felt he had one more house restoration in you, right?
One more big project in this. We didn't know if we wanted to restore a house or a church, an old movie theater. We wanted some old building to bring back.
Somehow I think the church and the movie theater is still on your list. I really do think that we're still going to do that at some day. But so fast forward, we put in this proposal to the state of Maryland, and then we waited. And we did a Zoom call with everybody who's involved with this. And then we waited. And then they came back to us and said that we were approved. But actually, what happened was I hadn't heard back from our contact, whose name is Pete. Hi, Pete. Hadn't heard back from him. And then one day I was sitting at my desk and I got a phone call, and it was Pete. And he said, "Did you get my email?" I said, "No, I didn't get your email." And then we were trying to figure out why we didn't get his email. And then I was like, "Who cares why we didn't get your email? What were you telling me in the email?" And he said, "We want you to take over the Stevenson house." That's what this is called. The original family who built it and everything in 1795 were named the Stevensons. So I was ecstatic. So I ran downstairs to tell Joe, because he was homesick that day. And I said, "Guess what? We've got the house." So that was very exciting. This was in April of 2023. Yes, April of 2023. And they said to us, "Don't worry, it's going to be fast. You can't actually do anything in the house yet because we have to get final approval right up to the governor. Once the governor signs it, then you're good. You can start work," because we are putting our own money into renovating this house. So in return, as I said earlier, we get to live here rent-free for life with no property tax. But we had to wait till we got all the signatures so that it was all okie dokie. Because if we put our money in and then something happened, who knows what, and they said no, 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 we would have lost that money. So like any sane person, not that we're sane people, but like any somewhat sane people, we decided we will wait. So April, and they said it'll only be a few months because we had a new regime in the state of Maryland. April, May, June, July, August, September. During all of this, I am acquiring furniture on different Buy Nothing sites. And if you don't know what Buy Nothing is, look at one of my earlier videos. But it's basically a site where people put things up for free because they don't want them to go to landfill. So I'm getting all this furniture because in New Jersey, we live in a condo and this is 5 bedrooms. So I need more stuff. We always need more stuff. And this is a good way to get it, free and like out of the landfill. So where was I? September, October, November, December. What happens in December is that Pete's still telling us it's going to be any day now. And Joe was starting to feel a little winded when he went up the stairs. He's always been very good health, but going up the stairs, he was starting to feel a little winded. And this was highly unlikely because we do a lot of physical labor all the time, whether we're toy taming, he does it with me, whether we're toy taming or it's just his general everyday work, it's very physical. So he goes to the doctor. He goes to like an OmniMed kind of place or an urgent care kind of place. He comes home and I say to him, "Oh, good. They didn't put you in the emergency room." And he says,
I said, "I got to go right away."
I'm like, "Wait, what? You have to go right away?" His blood pressure was so high. Do you remember what the number was?
I don't know, 220 over, I don't know, 150,
Something
some crazy number.
Crazy. He should have been dead. But so we took him to the ER. They admitted him to the ER. He did not have a stroke. He did not have a heart attack, but he was just on the cusp about to have that. So they figure out what's wrong, figure out he needs a
triple bypass and a new heart valve.
Yeah, just, you can pick those up at like, Amazon, I'm sure. But yeah, so we need that. And like, but you can go home now because, we're not ready to do it now. It's not an emergency. I don't know what an emergency would be, but it's not an emergency. So we go home, like, great. We're waiting. Now that was a lovely Christmas, by the way. January, end of January, last week in January, we talk to the doctors and we get the surgery that he needs done scheduled for February 9th. For some reason, I remember that. February 9th, 2024. And the week before that, we hear from the state of Maryland that we are all approved. So now, here we are, all approved, heart surgery. Like, oh, good gosh. And I have a whole house full of furniture that has nowhere to live. So fast forward a bit, we get through the surgery. He went through with flying colors. He's all good now. He's all repaired. Just a little side thing so that he doesn't ever have this come back again. We're doing a vegan diet that's going to rebuild his heart, so all is going to be good. But the whole rehab thingy dingy, they say it's going to be 6 weeks. Yeah, we're going on 2.5 years now. He's just starting to feel better, but he's a hard worker, so we've been working on the house. So we get the heart surgery, all is good. That summer we didn't really do a whole lot, but we did end up in October. We moved an RV down. It's over there. I'll show you a picture later. We moved an RV down so we could live in that while we're down here because, where else are we going to live? We can't live in the house yet. We don't have any necessities and we're not allowed to live in the house yet. So we did Thor. We call our trailer Thor, and we bought it off of Facebook Marketplace, right?
eBay.
Oh, eBay. How much did it cost?
$1,200 on eBay.
$1,200 on eBay. Of course, it had to be fixed. So Joe's done a ton of work on that first. While we were waiting to get okayed in that time period before we knew we had heart surgery, we fixed up the trailer. So fast forward, now it is, where are we? It is July 2026. So we've been working on the house for quite a while. We come down pretty much every weekend. If you've been following us along, you could follow. That doesn't even make sense. If you've been following along, and if you haven't, please follow, hit the bell. I don't even know what that means because I'm whole new to this whole YouTube thing. But we are going to be documenting it on YouTube, everything that we're doing. And so now we're down here. We come down every single weekend and we work. That's basically what we do right now. It's what is the temperature out here right now? About 88 degrees.
At least. It's pretty hot.
Very humid, extremely humid. We do not have air conditioning in anywhere. Well, we do in the trailer, so that's good. We have some rooms in here that look like they're completely finished, and I'll show you some pictures of that in upcoming videos because I couldn't take it. It's like, how many of you are with me? It's like you can't take the fact that nothing looks done. But we still don't have, we have running water, thanks to Joe. We actually had to do the well twice because, you know, this is my number today, twice, because it failed again. I don't know why, but now it seems to be working fine. So we've got running water, we've got heat in some rooms. We don't have air conditioning, but that's not one of the things. Oh, the 5 things we have to do in order to move in. We need heat, we need running water, we need electricity, we need to encapsulate all the lead paint, and we need septic. So we have heat. I don't know if we need it everywhere, but we have some heat. We have running water pretty much everywhere. We have, what was the other thing I just said? We have electricity. Electricity's good. Joe's rewiring everything, but we have electricity. We need to encapsulate all the lead paint. That's what I am working inside. We still need to do outside. And septic. So septic is a big thing right now. We had, what do you call it when they came with the cameras?
Yeah, we had a guy camera all the lines. The lines are good. It's just the tank is too old for the county to certify.
Yes,
so it has to be replaced. But the field is okay. But the tank needs to be replaced.
And we got to figure out how we're going to pay for that. But, you know, it'll happen. No one way or the other. But also, we've been waiting like 3-4 weeks for this report to come back so we know how much it's going to cost. But we will have septic. So at some point, this will be a great place to be. But right now, we still love it. I mean, we just got down here. It's Friday night. It's hot. It's humid. But it took us forever to get down here. There was so much traffic. But we're good, right?
Oh, yeah. No, I enjoy coming down.
Yep. We're going to have some dinner. I'm going to get to work on the primary bedroom. It's up that way. Tomorrow, we're going to do some sanding. We're going to do some painting. We stopped and picked up some paint on the way down here. And it's going to be blue. So there you go. What are you going to do this weekend?
I got to fix the refrigerator.
Oh,
to make
yeah.
sure that works. Needs a new thermostat.
We got this really cool refrigerator off of Buy Nothing. John, don't listen to this part because John, his business partner, told us it wasn't going to work. But we got this really cool refrigerator from Buy Nothing. It's a Sub-Zero, and it's all wood grain, so it matches our wood grain kitchen. The kitchen in here looks like it's from 1965, and we're keeping it that way. But the refrigerator matches really well, and the freezer works so good. The freezer is frozen solid. The fridge won't go below 50. So we have figured it out what the problem is. We have a new thermostat to put in. That's what he's going to work on this weekend. You're going to help me maybe do some sanding and stuff like that. Maybe not. What else do you want to work on?
No, you're going to be sanding.
I'm going to be sanding.
There's always work. I got a lot of electrical work to do. I got plumbing work to do.
Yes,
so.
I do the work that you can actually see a difference when I'm done, and he does the work that you can't see any difference, but things work. So it kind of works out well that way. So that is our story of saving Gracie. We call it that because it's inhabited Grace, Maryland. We're saving her, saving Gracie. The websites everywhere are Saving Gracie, not websites. The socials everywhere are Saving Gracie MD because we're in Maryland. She's not a doctor. And that is our story. I'm Evelyn. This is Joe. Married forever. Still very good friends, best friends. Right?
Right.
Right. Love you. Mwah. All right. See you in the next video. Bye.